Hello, I'd like to talk to you today about why you should buy a Windows machine instead of a Macintosh. There are actually several reasons. The first one would be the operating system. The Windows operating system is compatible with a lot more devices than the Macintosh. You have all kinds of USB hardware that you can use, like webcams, external DVD players. The amount of hardware is endless that you can use, and Windows is definitely a lot more compatible with all of that type of hardware than Macintosh is. Because of that, that's one of the reasons why Windows PCs have the biggest market share out of all computers and all operating systems. The Windows operating system itself has had and continues to hold the biggest market share out of all. This allows more developers and designers and stuff like that, it basically makes them design their stuff for Windows first and then everything else later. The rest of the operating systems are an afterthought. The second reason is hardware. Now, with the Windows based PC, all of the hardware in it can pretty much be exchanged or swapped for something different. Video cards are one common thing that people upgrade regularly. Also, the motherboards and sound cards, and there's just a bunch of different things that you can swap out or upgrade the processor, without having to buy a completely new machine. Now, if you buy a pre-built Windows PC, your options are a little more limited, and that's because they're proprietary the same way Macintosh is. Macintosh, pretty much what you get is what you get, with the exception of a few things like hard drive size and memory. Whereas with the Windows, you can pretty much replace any of it. And that is, the upgradability of a Windows-based PC makes a big difference, because instead of spending several $1,000s for a new desktop, you can spend a few hundred and update only the components that you think need to be updated. It's also a lot easier to add extra things to the Windows-based PCs than it is Macintosh. The next thing would be usability. With Windows being the biggest operating system on the planet, the software and other specialty programs and stuff that are normally written for Windows. A lot of times, some of the big name software packages come out for Windows first, and then they may make a different version. One of the biggest ones would be the Microsoft Office. Now, granted, that is made by Microsoft, but it's still, that's one of the biggest Office suite packages on the market. Adobe Photoshop, that generally comes out for Windows first. Sometimes they release them simultaneously, but there are plenty of other ones. The list, there's just probably 1,000 different ones that come out first, and with that, it gives you more choice over the software that you use. With Macintosh, the amount of software packages that are really good are kind of limited, or you end up using the same one that you could use on a PC that's made specifically for Macintosh. With having so many different software choices available, your productivity can go up higher, because you can find the one that fits the style that you want to use, and basically you can, if you don't like Office, if you prefer something else like OpenOffice, you can use that, or if you find one that's specifically written for what you want it to do, a proprietary piece of software, you're going to find more of that on the Windows-based operating system. All this basically leads to the reason why I would choose a Windows-based machine over a Macintosh. Now, recently, Macintosh has switched to standardized hardware instead of being as proprietary as they were. It used to be basically their processors and everything else were completely proprietary. Now they've switched over to Intel, so they use pretty much off-the-shelf stuff. They just normally charge a lot more for it because you're buying more of a brand than the hardware that's inside of it. It's kind of like a bragging rights thing, but like I say, that all those things are one reason why I'll always use a Windows-based machine. I like being able to upgrade if I want to change everything in my computer, I can do that. I like having the choices of software packages. I know that Windows is the biggest operating system out there, so there's going to be more stuff written for it, which in turn gives me more choices. And with that, hopefully I can stay more productive. So, hope you enjoyed. Thank you.